So to create your sculpture, you're going to need some empty boxes, a pair of scissors, a texter or a pencil if you want to trace some shapes. So first of all, you need to open up your box so that it's flat. So usually there's like a seam on a box. Just open it up. And then you've got your flat. Turn it round if you want to trace some circle shapes. I'm going to trace this circle shape a few times.
Maybe one more.
And then we're going to cut these out. So remember when you're cutting, to remember your smart cutting. Just cut out that chunk, make it easier for yourself to do the cutting. I'm just going to cut these into big chunks. And then it will be easier for me to cut. So remember, your scissors need to stay straight and you move the big part of the cardboard around and your scissors stay straight. Don't throw away your scraps because you might use those for some smaller shapes.
Turning it round and keeping your scissors straight. And do one more.
Okay. Now I want to have like a bigger shape for a base of my my sculpture. So I'm thinking a bigger shape is better to start it off, like to give it a good solid standing point. So to make a bigger shape, I thought that I'm going to just use a bigger panel from this piece of cardboard. I'm thinking like two semicircle shapes. So if you want the two to be the same, you can just trace the one you've just done.
And then cut it out. Smart cutting. Get rid of the big bits.
So what you're going to do to put the sections inside each other is you're going to cut some slots and then you're going to put them inside each other. So we don't need to use any tape or any glue for this activity. So I'm just going to cut a slot into the top. Now this one's going to go in like that, in that slot. And see how it sits up like that? If I cut a slot inside here, then these two will fit inside each other. Push it all the way down. See how it's not quite flat? I'm going to make this slot just a little bit bigger. And now that will fit nice and flat. And you've got a good base to start off with. Then cut out some different shapes. So I've cut out some circle shapes here. You can cut out different shapes. Doesn't have to be circles. You can do some rectangles. You can do organic shapes. They don't have to be geometric shapes. just doing an organic shape here. So now we're going to put some of these shapes onto our base. To do that, you need to decide where you're going to put it. Put a slot in the part where you want to put it, and then a slot into the shape, and then put them together so that one slot goes inside the other slot. Voila! Might want to put another one up here, or maybe to the side. So this activity will really get you to think about balance, how you need to balance out your sculpture for it to work, or else it will tip. So I'm just going to put one on the other side, so I've got some balance going on here, counteracting each other. All right. Let's put this organic shape in, now maybe over here. Put this cut in where you want it. This bit keeps on coming down for some reason. So turn your sculpture around and always thinking, what am I going to add next? So I might add another circle over here, maybe coming out on the side here. Let's see, just going to cut a rectangle and put it here. So this sculpture is abstract. It doesn't have to look like anything or be anything, just an abstract sculpture. Turn it around, have a look and see where else you want to add something. If you want to add some more circles, I suggest you always use a template or something to trace a circle if you want a nice circle. Now your base doesn't have to be a semicircle shape like I did. You can experiment, use any shapes to start your base, but remember it needs to stand up. I might do something a bit different here. Wonder what this will work out like. Put that in there. What do you think, kids? Stretch it out. Well, that looks a bit groovy.
Might do another spiral. on the other side. Okay. And cut it in. Spin it, spin it, spin it. Stretch.
So the smaller the slot, the probably the less support it's going to have to stand up in. Where did I cut it? Oh, there. Okay. So once you're finished, take some photos of your sculpture, maybe a few different angles because it looks different depending on which way you position it. And send them to me on Seesaw. Happy creating!